A planning commission meeting for April 8th, 2026 will now come to order at 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, going to do some roll call here. We have present Commissioner Srivastava, Commissioner Badu.
Yes.
Commissioner Chappell is online.
I am here.
Cool. And Commissioner Taylor is there a motion approving tonight's planning commission agenda? Is there a second?
Commissioner Chappell, seconds.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Is there anything for the good of the order? Okay, nothing. All right, the meeting minutes from March 25th, 2026 have been drafted and are included in the Planning Commission's packets. Do we have any corrections to the minutes?
It's easy.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Sorry, who was the second? Okay.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Do we have any announcements this evening for the Planning Commission?
Yes, we do have a couple announcements. All right. Okay, so first, we just want to welcome our new Community and Economic Development Director.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
And yeah, you can go. Okay.
My name is Duvall. I am the new director of Community and Economic Development, or Economic and Community Development. We're not really sure what our name is at this point. It's fine. I'm looking forward to working with Maddie and the rest of the team on all the quote updates that we need to get done for compliance with the state and getting the comp plan wrapped up. And I'm a big fan of Duvall, like before I even started working here. I love the yarn shop. I love cafe. Love grill. Love bakery. So I was already a fan, and I'm very happy to be here.
Just want to acknowledge that Commissioner Erickson Brown is now in attendance.
Like,
All right. And then just, you've heard this from me a lot now, but just a reminder that if you haven't completed your training courses, get those done. It looks like the next short course on local planning is not until May 7th via Zoom. So if you haven't done that, you can sign up. And then, yeah, once you've completed that, you can let me know. Okay, and then just wanted to give you a brief update on where we're at with a couple of things. So for code amendments, you're going to be hearing about 1408 during the public hearing tonight. You've heard about it previously as well. Public hearing before City Council is on April 21st. Sign code update. We have a draft submitted to Commerce for the 60-day review period, which is required. And then we are preparing to issue SEPA a determination of non-significance, which will be issued on Monday. And then for sensitive area regulations, we are nearing completion on a draft with that one. And then some development that is currently under review. There's the Acres of Diamond site plan review. They just submitted for a second round of review, so that's being reviewed by all departments. And site plan review is land use entitlement, so that's kind of the first step. This is actually a good kind of layout of what a process looks like, but just we have projects in each of the different phases. So for Main Street development, clear and grade permit is being reviewed. That's under second round of review. That's the engineering public works phase. So that comes after land use entitlement. And then we have the Batten Creek subdivision has come in for some building permits. And that step obviously happens after land use entitlement and engineering. And then the Skylight Ridge East, we also have building permits being submitted kind of on a continuing basis. And I wanted to just put a map up here. This map is, it might be fairly small for you to see. And it's a little bit outdated at this point, but we have most of the developments on here just to give you a visual of where they're at. So Main Street development is down here at the bottom of the city near Duvall Village. We've got Acres of Diamond is right here. Skylight Ridge, so there's Skylight Ridge West, and Meadowlark is now Skylight Ridge East there. And then there's Batten Creek all the way over here. Okay, and then just a couple updates on events coming up. So there's the State of the City and Community Budget Workshop on April 16th. So that might be interesting for you all to attend. I really recommend that you attend. You get to know the new mayor a little bit better as well, and get to know kind of the ins and outs of the budget process. And there are two events on April 25th. So from 10 to noon, there's a coffee and community workshop with students from UW who are working with the city. And also April 25th at 1, there is the Holy Duvall Festival. So that is also exciting. So please, if you're able to attend all of those events, go ahead and attend. And that's all the updates that I have for the Planning Commission.
Okay, moving on to, well, public comments. So we don't have anybody in the room tonight for public comments, and we do have one person online. So just a note from the commission here. Individuals providing public comment must be physically present in the meeting, as no comments are accepted from those in attendance virtually. However, anyone can submit written comments, which are accepted until noon on the day of the meeting, and then you can email the city clerk or deposit something in the City Hall Dropbox on Main Street for written comments. Did we receive any written public comments tonight?
No, we did not. Yeah, and this public comment section is separate from the public comments during the hearing, just for clarification, but we haven't gotten any written comments for either tonight's meeting or the hearing.
So tonight we're going to review PC Agenda Bill 26-3 DMC 14.08 permit processing code amendments facilitation by Maddie Lawrenson, our associate planner. The public hearing for the code amendments to DMC 14.08 permit processing and related amendments is now open at 6:09, and I'll have to go over the rules.
Actually, since we can't have them, let's just say you probably do need.
Okay. Yeah, that was a question earlier.
Yeah, I didn't think through the online piece.
Yep, okay. So yeah, since we don't have anybody here present, I'm not going to go over the rules of public comment because we don't have anybody present. Okay. Maddie, you ready?
Yeah, and you can still go through that. Order of operations, just so.
As in, Yeah, okay. All right, I'll now proceed with the order of operations for the hearing. The purpose of this legislative public hearing is to obtain public input and for the planning commission to provide city council with a recommendation regarding the proposed DMC 14.08 code amendments. The staff report and recommendation, along with the associated exhibits for this hearing, are provided in the planning commission's packet and available on the city's website. We will now hear from Maddie Lawrenson, our associate planner.
All right, thank you. A lot of this is just gonna be pretty repetitive because you've already seen this item twice now. But just wanted to run through a brief overview on where we're at and what the updates include. So some key points, the updates are regarding chapter 1408, which has to do with permit processing. It sets standards for consistent, timely, and predictable land use permitting procedures. The proposal is a complete repeal and replace of the existing 1408 chapter. These are amendments that are mandated per Senate Bill 5290, which was passed in 2023. And it's codified in RCW 3670B. It consolidates review types and updates processing timelines. So I've given you a kind of a general overview of what those timelines look like. So when a project permit does not require public noticing, 65 days. When a project permit requires public noticing, 100 days. And when a project permit requires public noticing and public hearing, 170 days. So some of these are kind of making the permit types have shorter timelines and some of them have longer timelines. So for example, project permits that required public noticing and public hearings previously, that timeline was 120 days. It's being pushed to 170, but some of those other categories have shorter timelines. It's organized for clarity, it's very user-friendly. And we also removed elements that aren't associated with land use processing because project permit as defined by RCW is generally related to land use versus some of the other permits such as public works and building permits. And some of those were lumped in together in this chapter previously. So those are kind of being removed and we're being clear about what's being processed under this code versus what's not. Okay, and then as far as the timeline goes, there has been extensive drafting and review by BHC, which is the consultant that has been working with us on this. And you saw a presentation from Abby with BHC a couple weeks ago on this update. So there's been drafting and review by them and by city staff around this item. There's been a 60-day adoption notification to the Department of Commerce. There's been a SEPA determination of non-significance and the associated comment period. And then there has also been review by the Planning Commission and City Council previously. And today we are in the midst of our public hearing before Planning Commission, and then there will be a public hearing before City Council April 21st. Okay, and just to recap the materials that were provided to you in the packet and that have also been provided online a week prior to the hearing. There are memos from BHC that summarize the update. There's the proposed amendment itself, and that includes related amendments to Title 2, 9, and 14. Those are more kind of cleanup items. And then there is the Department of Commerce submittal receipt, the SEPA determination, the notice and affidavits. And there's also the notice of public hearing and associated affidavits as well. And we did not receive any public comments regarding this code amendment prior to the hearing. All right, and I have a recommended motion from staff up here. And that's all I have as far as the presentation goes. I'll keep this up, but we don't come to the recommendation until the close of the hearing.
Okay, good for public hearings, presentations. I don't think we have any further presentations tonight. So we'll go on to new business and we're going to be covering PCA.
So we do need to officially close.
Okay, let's,
And I guess there is no public comment, but there is kind of a process to solicit public comment. Then we should have cue cards.
yeah,
Yeah, here it is. You jump in the big burger. So you can say. And just so that officially we have recorded that. That makes sense, sir.
sure. Okay. We will now begin the public testimony portion of the hearing. We do not have anybody present, so no comments from the public. And we've covered that we have not received any written comments submitted by the general public for the commission to review. I will now call upon the public, but we don't have anybody here from the public. And does the staff wish to respond to any statements or questions asked or make any additional statements? No more, we don't have any further comments, so there being no more further testimony, I will close the public hearing on this matter at 6:18 p.m. For new business, we're going to cover PC Agenda Bill 26-3. It's the DMC 14.08 Permit Processing Code Amendments. Recommendation to the City Council.
Do we have a motion?
Oh, do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, this is Commissioner Chapel. I move to recommend the proposed repeal and replacement of DMC Chapter 14.08, permit processing and associated code amendments in DMC Title 2, 9, and 14 to the City Council for approval and adoption.
Do we have a second?
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. I don't think we have any unfinished business then. We're going to cover the written reports and studies. Tonight we're going to be covering the banner policy, comparison matrix, and examples.
Yeah, and this was just provided to you in response to some of the questions we received at the last meeting. It is just written material for you to review, but if you do have any comments or questions, we'd be happy to address them either tonight, or if you need more time to take a look at it, you can always send us an email with your thoughts whenever you have a chance to review. But definitely let us know if you have any questions at this stage.
Well, I want to confirm there is no further business to cover. Being that there's no further business, I will now adjourn this meeting at 6:20 p.m.
Great, thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.